Hi everyone, I am Mr. Mahmoud. This video is for Grade 7, Unit 8, The Amazing World Around Us, Lessons 5 and 6. Let's start with the key vocabulary: century, city center, collection, competition, design, designed, display, displayed, entrance, object, space, treasure, valuable, welcome, welcomed, car park, column, guidebook, motorbike, square meter, statue, sunny, website review, writer. Additional vocabulary: allow, allowed, ancient, article, complete, completed, covered square, expect, expected, hard work, hieroglyphics, however, life, lives, main idea, move, moved, plan, planned, public, the internet, Al Azhar Park, cafe, expressions, fountain, Habu Temple, lake, large, playground, prefer, preferred, side, the British Museum, the Great Court, the Hypostyle Hall, the Karnak Temple, the Rosetta Stone, the Valley of the Kings, wonderful, fantastic. Language expressions: get busier, have a holiday, have a picnic, make notes, show opinions, welcome its visitors. Propositions: for the first time, in groups, be able to plus infinitive, look after, on display, at this time, during the day, for longer, go into, on the stone, refer to, space for, special about, parts of, later on, reason for, similar to. Words and opposites: outside, inside, early, late, public, private, high, low, top, bottom, noisy, quiet. Conjugations of verbs: teach, taught, understand, understood, understood, have, has, had, show, showed, shown, spend, spent, spent. Definitions: cheap, not expensive; deep, measuring water from the top to the bottom; noisy, not quiet; safe, not dangerous; wide, measuring something from one side to the other. Language notes: however. We use however to show contrast in meaning. He is very strong, however, he can't carry this box. One of plus plural noun plus singular verb. One of the most beautiful parts of the museum is the entrance. Choose a correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Mona got up early, space, she went to school late. However, one of my friends looks said, what's wrong with him? How to write a paragraph about historical places in Egypt. Egypt has a lot of historical places which tourists like to visit. These places are in many cities like Cairo, Giza, Aswan, and Luxor. The Egyptian Museum has a lot of historical objects. They are the most valuable treasures. The Grand Egyptian Museum welcomed its first visitors in 2019. One of the most beautiful parts of the museum is the entrance, with its big plants and statues. There are other places like the Valley of the Kings in Luxor, the Karnak Temple, and the Habu Temple. Read the text. The oldest museum in Cairo opened in 1835. There were more than 160,000 of Egypt's most valuable treasures on display. However, the museum did not have space for 100,000 other objects. In 2002, there was a competition to design a bigger and more modern museum. The competition had 1,557 designs from more than 80 different countries. The Grand Egyptian Museum, GEM, welcomed its first visitors in 2019. It is further from the city center than the old museum, but only 2 kilometers from the pyramids at Giza. It has more space for valuable objects, more people can see them, and it is able to look after the objects really well. One of the most beautiful parts of the museum is the entrance, with its big plants and statues. The biggest is that of Ramses II, which is 12 meters high. Moving these objects from the old museum in Tahrir to complete the Grand Egyptian Museum is not easy. It is expected to take many years of hard work. We had a wonderful holiday in Egypt. These are my opinions about 3 of the most interesting places. The Valley of the Kings in Luxor is one of the most popular places for tourists to visit. We went early because that is the quietest time. My brother said, "This is fantastic." I am sure it gets busier later on during the day. The place we went to was the Karnak Temple. My favorite part was the hypostyle hall, a 5,000 square meter room with 134 stone columns. I think it was more crowded than the Valley of the Kings. In my opinion, the best and quietest place we visited was Habu Temple. It has columns similar to those at Karnak, but because it is less crowded, you can study them for longer. The British Museum. The British Museum in London is the oldest public museum in the world. It opened in 1759 and now has more than 13 million objects. About 6 million visitors go there every year. The museum has the biggest collection of Egyptian objects outside Egypt. One of its most important objects is the Rosetta Stone. This arrived at the museum in 1802. The writing on the stone is in 3 different languages. This allowed people to understand ancient hieroglyphics for the first time. In my opinion, the most beautiful part of the museum is the Great Court. Its big glass room makes it the largest covered square in Europe. It opened in 2000, so it is also the most modern part of the museum. Lazar Park is the largest and the most beautiful park in Cairo. It is much larger than the small park near my house. That park has a few trees and plants, and I enjoy going there after school. You can spend an hour or 2 in that park, but you can spend a lot of time at Al Azhar Park. The trees there are taller and it has more plants. It also has fountains, a lake, and cafes too. I like going there because there is space for all our family to have a big picnic at the weekends. My sister always says, "I love it here." Choose a correct answer from A, B, C, or D. We have a house with a big space and a little garden. Entrance. My father bought me a wonderful space of short stories, wonderful collection. When tourists visit a country, they should have a space of important places in it. Guidebook. There is a science space at school. I think Ali will win. Competition. The Egyptian Museum has a lot of ancient space of kings and queens. Treasures. The weather is space today. Should take your sunglasses. The weather is sunny. I will visit my uncle today. Later on, I'll meet your friends. The Grand Egyptian Museum has more space for valuable objects. There are a lot of clothes on space in the shop by my house on display. We should space our visitors and meet them in a friendly way. Welcome. The word means measuring water from the top to the bottom. Deep. Engineers are people who space buildings, design buildings. GEM stands for the Grand Egyptian Museum. And now we come to the end of our video today. Thanks for watching. See you next video and goodbye.